When referring to how much I actually love Greek myth and modern culture, there are some myths I think that are just objectively better than others, like Jason and Medea, the Iliad, the Odyssey, that Minotaur in a maze, and the one guy who literally just falls from the sky. Oh, and the other one. Among these, however, there seems to be a liar, an imposter, if you will, of representing what really matters here. I'm gonna be honest, I like Daedalus, I really do. He's really cool, but he's not as cool as I initially thought. So according to where his name appears most notably, Skyrim, like, come on, like, Daedric armor and weapons, like, it's just like the first thing that comes to mind, especially when I played it as a younger kid. I thought he was an amazing badass, and like Lord of Death and just demonic things in general. Is an understatement, at the least, to say that I am severely disappointed by the lack of badassery that ensues with a character like him. I'm not knocking him for being like this sick engineer. Like, some of the smartest people in history and the coolest things done at all were done by engineers, and that's really cool, especially in ancient times. But it's not the satanic abomination that I came to know and love as this young kid playing Skyrim. I got my Daedric warhammer for the first time. To be quite honest, all I knew about Icarus beforehand was that Smash Bros. And quite frankly, you know, like, this, and this are just objectively better to me. And again, my disappointment is unmeasurable, and I think justly placed, because Icarus just canonically dies, and not in like the respawning way like in Smash Brothers, like I'm used to. And he kinda dies in a stupid way too. So instead of killing the good people of the world like I thought he did, Daedalus actually, well, he kinda did. I actually didn't expect to find like common ground there between like Skyrim and like my understanding of the word and like the origin and stuff compared to like what actually happened. But it is true. So like anyway, he's building this maze for this big Minotaur, which warrants an entirely different discussion. But he builds it so well, apparently, to my understanding, that he's kind of trapped there. He can't go by land or by sea, or else this big Minotaur would leave and cause more issues. So what do? You take your child that you brought with you for some reason, and you strap you strap some wings on him, and you just leave. Like, that's to the extent that this book explains how he leaves. Like, it's like, I'm going to take my child, I'm going to take my engineering craft, I'm going to build some wings, I'm going to leave. And like, okay, I'll give him that. That's very creative, and like, I see where he came from, right? But the only problem I have with this is how do you get feathers to make these wings? Like it's a maze. But anyway, okay. So I get the sentiment, but like, if Daedalus is so smart, then why would he bring his kid with him? Okay, and why do you think your kid would not do some dumb shit while literally flying? Because, you know, like all children, when Daedalus warns him of the unseen horrors of the skies, it goes in one ear and out the other, because the sky is cool to children. Like, I was a children, and it was very cool to look up at the sky. But anyway, despite all of this, they leave. They leave the labyrinth with the sick wings made of bird feathers they seem to have collected from nowhere. I don't know where they got them from, and the book doesn't seem to explain it either, but I digress. So father-son time commences, and they leave in this amazing gust. There they go, they're off in the sky. And to no one's surprise, Like Icarus is like, just looks at the sky and he's like, I like this. This is nice. This is beautiful. This is really wonderful. So he just goes a little bit higher. He wants to touch the clouds. Because literally, who wouldn't want to touch the clouds? Would you want to touch the clouds if you were flying? I would. But long story short, like it didn't take long for Icarus to find out that, you know, this endeavor is quite blissful and amazing. Because, you know, after this endeavor, he has no more future to worry about, especially in the moment. And afterwards, of course. So he gets too high, and his wings and his brain quite literally begin to melt as he passes dear old Dad one last time on the way down. And is seen in this amazing, breathtaking image. His dad is crying for the loss of his son, who I honestly thought was smarter than that. And I feel like my judgment here is honestly placed. Because out of all of the people that he could have had, that Daedalus could have had, his son would at least have more than 4 brain cells. But, I mean, I gotta give it to him. Like, I have made dumber decisions. I think. I don't know. But I'm not gonna knock him too much. I just think the story warrants a little more, I don't take it as seriously, I guess. When you have the son of an engineer fall from the sky and splat on the ocean. When I would think that there would be some forewarning about that, but that's just me.